Good morning. This is Dr. Aruna Tumala from Trinergy Health, and I have with me today Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
It's so good to see you here today, and thank you so much for doing this.
Sure, I'm happy to share.
So, Mary and we worked together very early on of Trinergy Health in 2016. In fact, I think she was one of the brave souls that decided to trust a novice integrative psychiatrist at that point in time. And we have worked together for a couple of years. And I asked Mary to come and talk to us about what it has been like before and after. And the goal of these videos is to really spread information about holistic mental and physical wellness, that becoming healthy is in our hands, the power is with us. It is probably co-opted out to all these other entities. That's why I think we become patients, we become sick, we become ill. But what we are offering at Trinergy is a path to self-empowerment, and that is through self-awareness, getting to know yourself, becoming friends with yourself. I think is one of the first things. And then once you love yourself and become friends with yourself, then you're going to do the things that are going to be good to this friend of yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Mary's journey kind of exemplifies that. So, Mary, let's start off with what were the reasons you came and what kind of treatment you were receiving before you came to me?
Before I came here, I was not feeling well, hard to walk. I felt very stiff and I was really confused and I was on a few medications for anxiety or depression, something like that. And I just was feeling like nothing was working. And I was reading in a Natural Awakenings magazine and I saw an ad and I thought, it just reached out to me. I'm like, this is something I'm going to check out. And it felt different because the payment wasn't the regular kind. It wasn't just all covered by insurance. I couldn't just go to my doctor and say, oh, let's check this box and I need to improve and let's check this box.
Yeah.
And so
that is what you were doing for many years before coming to me. You were going to physicians, insurance model.
Mm-hmm.
They were checking boxes. You were getting your prescription regularly, but nothing was changing, right? Which is exactly why I decided to, work outside of the system, outside of the insurance model.
So, right.
Yeah.
And it was the best investment I ever made because I got started on a journey that allowed real growth. And I'm so grateful for that. I still get emotional because the gratitude is so huge. Yeah, and coming to you and your understanding and really you got to know me. Yes. And the depth of our conversations was just, I could name it and get a handle on it. You gave me some real specific things to do and just, led me through improvement. So I'm grateful for that information. I can begin to live differently. Learning to slow down was huge, and learning needing to unplug and put my health needs first was imperative. And I continue that on now to become even more and more healthy and balanced. And I'm living a life now just so much better.
Yes. So, I mean, from a technical psychiatric perspective, I think you were diagnosed with chronic major recurrent depression, along with a healthy dose of anxiety mixed in. ADD was also a diagnosis that you had been given because of the scattered way that you were operating at that point in time. And what we did here is the same thing that we do for everyone, which is we clean out the diet because it's all in the gut-brain axis. We reduce inflammation, we remove toxins, we detoxify, and we enhance your nutritional status. And there's blood work and gene testing, and we use all this information that functional medicine has to offer to fine-tune the treatment. But you're right, it is really, all of this can only be possible in the medium of the therapeutic relationship. So that physician-patient relationship, the depth of it and the quality of it really becomes important. And I enjoy getting to know my patients, and I'm so grateful that maybe you and everyone else that works with me trust me with with your life story, and so with everything that we have done, and of course this takes consistency, time, and continuity, right? So we worked for a couple of years together,
Right.
but when you first came in, you had visible marks of inflammation in your skin, you know, and not only with a diffuse skin rash, but you were also 60 pounds overweight, and definitely scatterbrained. I don't know if I would go so far as saying ADD, but that disorganization manifested in many areas of your life: work, personal, financial, all of those things. But what was really beautiful about our journey together is that you were very open and receptive, and especially at that point in time, I had a lot of theory, and I was putting into practice and learning along the way to see what works best. And I think seeing you improve really reinforced to me that I was on the right path myself in doing this. And now here you are. Your osteoarthritis is much better. One of the big changes I noticed a year later is that when you would first come in, you were bent over. You were like this. Yeah. And then you told me that you couldn't walk down the stairs like normal, like alternating your feet, but you had to kind of hold on to the railing, and one foot and then the other foot follows. But a year later, we saw that you had lost weight, some weight, not as much as you've lost now, which is I think close to 60 pounds is what you've said. And then, but you were really standing erect, and your osteoarthritis keeps getting better. You're able to do more things now, and there is no ADD anymore, no scatterbrain.
Right. I'm looking forward to doing to tap dancing, and now my knees are getting to the point that I'm excited to be on a bike. That'll be easy to do and fun to do, and so it's a great feeling to see my health just consistently improving. And a lot of that is because I still come here every month for the massage, and I have a panchakarma coming up, and that helps me just stay invested in my health and move forward and feel good.
Yes.
Which I wasn't before.
Tell us a little bit about your self-awareness journey. I mean, what we were talking about, the subliminal messaging that exists in society today. Tell me a little bit more.
Before I would come here, I was really just like soaked into society and just like manipulated, actually. I would, after work, it's 4:30, I'm driving home, I'm hungry, I'm driving past McDonald's, Burger King, and more often than not, I would drive through and at least get some little snack because I was hungry, and there it was. And it tasted good. Didn't it taste good? Oh, the commercials were like, it tastes. So all my tastes and my habits and, my routines were just really manipulated by a lot of this false, it's advertising, it's how our society is. It's even, here's a healthy snack to buy for your kids, and I think back on my mothering, what I'd have in the refrigerator in the cupboard for them. And working with you and talking with you about real food, and you eat this food and it informs your body chemically, and are you kidding? All this new information I was 54 years old when I met you, and it was just like, oh my gosh. Reboot.
Yes.
Reboot.
And 5 years later, here you are, reverse aging.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. So, it is possible at any age. I would say that, I've worked with patients, in their 70s as well. And lifelong history of IBS goes into remission. And the beauty about this kind of work is that people come to me for mental illness, but everything else about their body also heals and gets better. So, yeah, but it takes work. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the beginning, and I think, one of the things that I realized, I did start off being very rigid about this. You got to do this, otherwise you're not. But then I realized that I have to hold that space for people as well. We are here to show the way, we are here to guide, and there will be missteps in the beginning. And compared to 2016, now I would say there is a lot more awareness about this kind of medicine. Wouldn't you say? I mean, even in 2016, buying organic, whether it is our cosmetics or food products, everything was so expensive, and the choice was limited. But now we are definitely seeing that the shift, the cultural shift is happening. I mean, you talked about McDonald's and all of that. There are even fast food joints that are using all organic ingredients, and so I really am very excited and hopeful for all of us as a society, as a culture, as a world even, because I feel that real grassroots change is happening, and then one generation comes in, you've come in, but then there is a ripple effect with your children, with your grandchildren, and all of this. And I think this is how we can sustain this movement. And I, for whatever reason, I got called into this. There are many times that I wonder, why can't I just work for someone, get my paycheck? But it is because of the transformation that I see when I work with my patients. That reinforces whatever, and I'm saying this because my course also has been with challenges because of the way I practice. And I must say this, I was recently invited to do a conference for a mainstream medical organization for one of their conferences, and I was asked to talk about holistic integrative psychiatry and DPC, which is a direct primary care movement, which is based on outside of the insurance model. Right. But I was told that I cannot use the term functional medicine in my talk. So, but I mean, a lot of what I do is courtesy functional medicine and Institute for Functional Medicine.
Right.
So there is, there is that pushback that I see, unfortunately. But again, whether it's, so I realize that it cannot be the top-down approach, but it has to be the grassroots, bottoms-up approach. So, thank you, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.